East of Kensington is really a dark retelling and a relook at the story of Peter Pan that we've all come to know and love.
I think the thing that's different between East of Kensington and other Peter Pan stories is just it's grounded in realism.
What we're doing is taking what is known as a Peter Pan movie and kind of twisting it.
So instead of assuming that, everyone did live happily ever after, East of Kensington explores the other option.
It's not supposed to be a sequel of the original story that J.M. Barrie wrote. Essentially what it is a reinterpretation.
We see definitely a loss of innocence, a more cynical retelling.
What we're trying to do with East of Kensington is really create something completely unique and tell it from a completely different perspective. And that's really where the dark elements of the story come in.
Looking at some of the questions that kind of go unanswered and overlooked in a normal fairy tale kind of world, which is what happens in the real world if this ever took place.
A lot of people know the Disney version of Peter Pan. We really wanted to stay as true to J.M. Barrie's original character as we possibly could.
It's not designed to tear and eat away at the core of what is Peter Pan, but to really accentuate elements that J.M. Barrie instilled in his story that maybe people have turned a blind eye to.
It's not just a retelling of a story, it's a reimagining of what that story means.
Peter goes back to London in search of Wendy.
He returns in selfish reasons to bring back a person that he basically abandoned.
I think what is so fascinating about the character of Peter Pan is how deep that character really is. He wants to never grow up, not just because it's the fun thing to do, but because it is the worst thing that could ever happen to him.
It could be the beginning of something totally new with the entire Peter Pan genre and style.
I feel like because East of Kensington is taking this new approach to the Peter story, I feel like because we're reintroducing this to the audience, this is something that the audience is going to be interested in, intrigued in, and want to find out, why are things different in this story? Why did the filmmakers decide to take this new approach?
Just from a production design standpoint, we are really, really pumped about getting to basically build these locations, build these sets in these places. And some of these, locations like the nursery and the home underground are very iconic, and be able to approach it with our own ideas and our own style. And
things are bleak, things are very dark, desaturated, and very grimy, grungy, realistic, and which is very jarring when halfway before that in the film we see Neverland, which is very beautiful.
Well, East of Kensington is a very visual effects heavy film. We have to create the London skyline from nothing, and we have a CGI character in Tinkerbell.
Having a producing mentality when creating this project, it was very important to me that we didn't bite off more than we could chew.
We don't cut corners. We stay very well communicated within all of our departments.
From casting to production value to visual effects, every aspect of this production we want to get to the highest level we possibly can, and we really are striving for excellence in all fields.
Everyone's here because they want to tell the story, because they connect with the story, they believe in the story, or the story does something for them.
We're all so committed and so dedicated in really making this happen. I think that's really what's going to propel the film forward and make it really successful.
This isn't a film that we just created spur of the moment. This is a movie that we literally have been waiting 2 years to make. This is kind of the grand finale. We've hit the ground running and we're giving it all that we've got.
What makes this a student film is that the people making it are still in school, but that's about it. It's about as professional as it gets.
We're reaching out to some effects companies in the industry to get them a part of the project. Something from the beginning that Kellen really wanted to do was make this, bigger than life.
We are calling upon all of our contacts, everyone that we know in the business, and asking them for professional advice, for a mentorship, to make sure that we're going in the right direction.
We don't want to settle for just mediocre or even just the resources that we have at our school. We want to go above and beyond.
We have been so blessed to have such an amazing fan base through our social media. These past months we've just watched things grow and blossom, and we've connected with people and we've heard their stories, and we've seen firsthand what Peter Pan means to people.
If I wanted to invest in something that later on I could point back to later and say, you know what, I was a part of that, that was really cool. Years down the road, you go into the theater and go, I funded one of their early pictures, and I think, how cool would that be to say, I knew them when? So I think it's definitely worth it.